Good morning to all of you. Welcome to the Law of Torts students. Hearty welcome for you. In this video, we are going to discuss the introductory part of the Law of Torts. Friends, you are freshers. Normally, you are knowing just whenever anybody asks you about law, you may be knowing the Indian Penal Code or murder section, Indian Penal Code, CRPC. At the most, some people know Evidence Act. But law of torts, it's a quite new subject in India, and it is the not frequently used law in India also. In other countries like USA, tort law is very famous. In England, yes, very particularly famous. In India, due to our, of course, so many circumstances are there. I can't say due to poverty, but due to the so-called old adages or old practices, still we are not able to utilize the tort law properly. We'll discuss it when the topic comes to you, because it is introductory part. I don't want to go into the details. So in the beginning, we'll tell you what is the law of what is a tort. Tortum, twisted, crooked, all these things we are going to discuss in the definition part itself, while Salman and Wilfield's definition. Then before that also we may go for evolution of the torts, how the tort law developed in India. So how it came from, it came via England to us. What was the Norman conquest, 1066 Norman conquest. All these things we will discuss in the evolution part, how slowly it has come into existence as tort law, and how tort law, even though it is not codified, it is being codified in the shape of Consumer Protection Act, MVAct, Compensation Act, Trademarks Act, Competition Act, like that. Okay. Then we'll move on to the general defenses. General defenses mean, first of all, let us decide whether it is a tort or not. So for that, voluntary, non-fictive India, so many examples, so many legal maxims we are going to give in the so-called definition, general exceptions. Then, or we can call it as general defenses also. Later, I will tell you the legal maxims which are being commonly used in the law of torts, like qui facit per alium facit per se, salus populi suprema lex. So many things will be there. We will discuss them in detail also. Then, we are going to the liability part, because whenever you discuss the law creates rights, duties and liability obligations also. We are discussing the same. And the judge, he has to give the judgment basing on justice, equity and good conscience, because there is no specific law. Please remember, tort law is not a codified law. Then we will move on to liability, that is vicarious liability, absolute liability, strict liability, reliance versus special case. So many things we'll discuss. LG Polymers case, latest case also, we are going to discuss in the absolute liability, because a lot of compensation was paid to them. Then we will move on to the specific torts. So please remember, torts will occur only to three incidents. Number one, person, second is property, and third one is character, right? That is reputation. So now, as regards property, please remember the trespass to the persons. Trespass means maybe trespass or trespass ab initio. All these things we are going to discuss. Then to the person, trespass to the person. The person is, first one is assault, second one is battery, third one is malicious prosecution, and fourth one is false imprisonment, and most importantly, maintenance and champerty. This you will hear, you will learn here in this law of torts, whereas in the 6th semester also, you are going to discuss a beautiful topic on maintenance and champerty also. Then we will go to the another important, that is a character, reputation. So defamation is anti-reputation. Even though Constitution gives you the absolute power to express your opinion or to have the free speech, but still please remember, it has got its own limitations. Don't try to defame the others, particularly the dead person. So if you defame anybody, yes, you can file a tort of defamation. Then we'll go to the nervous shock. This is the latest concept. That means the 19th century concept in the law of torts. Previously, it was not there because the straight impact of the so-called injury will not be there. But still, nervous shock, if any person dies due to the shock caused by you, not by the electric shock, by your words. While discussing the Wilkinson versus Downton case, I will explain you in detail about what is the nervous shock. And most important point is negligence. Negligence means carelessness. That is breach of duty of care. So negligence is an important part in the tort law. I am sure you will get number of questions in the negligence also. So negligence, it will be, because we are studying the MVAct, negligence will be multifold. So that is composite negligence, contributory negligence. Suppose two vehicles collide with each other. If both of them are at fault, then it is called contributory negligence. So likewise, what is composite negligence? All these things we are going to discuss. And what are the defenses also? As advocates, you have to know what are the defenses. In the defenses, we will be discussing the important case, that is a wagon mount case. That is a foresight, thought of foresight, and last opportunity rules also. And as far as the law of torts is concerned, very good cases are there as regards res ipsa loquitur. That means normally if you see a thing, then you have to come to the court and give evidence. But if you take a photo, if you take a video, that itself is sufficient. No further evidence is necessary. That is what is called res ipsa loquitur. Thing speaks itself. So you need not gather so much evidence for that part. Beautiful cases are there, right from state of Rajasthan versus Vijayawati, or we'll discuss that cases. Then, and the negligence is there. Normally we have to discuss professional negligence, medical negligence. Professional negligence and medical negligence combinedly we will discuss, and we will give you so many cases like IMA versus VP Shant and others, or that Apollo Hospital versus Aparna Datta case, so many cases. So normally the doctors, they are also human beings. They tend to forget something. Suppose if the doctor conducts the operation, opens the abdomen and forgets the so-called lump or the cloth or some instrument like a cell phone or scissors, I have seen in a movie also. So that is clear case of medical negligence. Lot of cases you can file in the consumer part as well as civil case also, but better we will discuss in the consumer cases regarding the medical negligence. Then remoteness of damages. Just before 1 minute before I told you the wagon mount case. That is foresight. You must expect the same. If you are not able to expect the trouble coming, yes, you are liable for excuse. That is what will be stated in wagon mount 1 and wagon mount 2 cases also. Then normally nuisance. So nuisance are two different types, private nuisance and public nuisance. Yes, they will also be dealt with in this law of torts. Of course, as I told you, they can be dealt with as criminal cases as well as tort cases also. Even I can say in the 5th semester I will tell you, they can be dealt with under section 92 of the CPC also. Right. Then normally in the Indian Penal Code we will be hearing about the conspiracy, Professor G. and Nagasai Baba case, conspiracy, then passing off, then negligent misstatements, all these things, they can be discussed in this tort law also. Negligent misstatement. Suppose if the bank says that this man is worth of some 1,000 crores of rupees and the people invest money, if it is a false statement, then what happens? The bank is liable. Likewise, the effect of the misstatement will be there. We will discuss that also. Then ultimately, as suggested by me, sometimes death may occur in the case of tort also. Death due to torts. Yes, it may occur, but normally tort is a very simple incident where you will get compensation. Whatever it is, there are a couple of cases where the life was lost or the shortness of the life or shortening of expectation of life happened. All these things normally we will be discussing elaborately in the MVAct also. Then in the last month, that's maybe in the month of April, because you are having exams in April, we are discussing two important acts, that is Motor Vehicle Act. Presently, you have to call it as a 2019 Act. Previously, it was 1988 Act. So, 2019 Act. Particularly, we will discuss only regarding the tribunals, motor vehicle tribunals, right from 166. Sometimes we will be discussing no fault liability. All these things will be there. And most important is insurance. Yes, if there is no insurance, it's very difficult for you to get the compensation. Therefore, what is the insurance liability? What is third-party insurance? What is comprehensive insurance? All these things we are going to discuss. And lastly, we are going to discuss the Consumer Protection Act 2019. Yesterday, I have given you a example of the Consumer Protection Act. So many things will be there. So, what is deficiency? What is the defect? What is the triple R formula? Like repair, repay, or triple R formula. Repair, replace, or repay the money. Yes, definitely. Even online complaint also has come with the advent of the so-called 2019 Act. So all these things will be discussed in this law of torts. So friends, I have taken around 11 minutes, but it will take 4 months for you to learn all these things. So anyway, it's an important topic, and law of torts will be useful for you day in and day out. Of course, if you apply as advocates, if you apply, it will be useful. Otherwise, same case in India. Always next batch is also I will tell you, India tort is the less used or not often used law in Indian society. Okay, with this I am concluded, because it is introductory part. I have said in a fast way because I wanted to complete it within 10 months, 10 minutes, but it is taking time. Alright, anyway, with this I am concluding. Thank you very much.